We just had another busy WNBA weekend, and I'm going to be joined by Lo coming up next on Hoop Talks. All right, I'm now joined in by Lo. You guys might know her as Big Lo, not the little one. Lo, how are you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very happy that you're here to join me. I'm so excited that the W season is like finally here. We're finally
Yes.
in it.
Right.
We've had a couple of good weekends so far. And so I want to kind of get down to the teams that kind of played over the weekend, the teams that stood out, and let's talk about it. The first team that I did want to touch on was the Chicago Sky. They're
Mhm.
3-1. They did lose to the Mystics last week by like 2 points, but like even then,
Mhm.
it's been like a very impressive start to the season for them.
Definitely.
What is it about the Chicago team that has, like, stood out to you so far in terms of, like, what is clicking for them this season?
I think they're gritty. They just work so hard. I feel like they're gonna be in any game. Like just because they work hard, they're gritty. They're gonna keep coming at you. They're coming at you in waves. It's not just one person. It's all of them. Like they are gritty. They're coming like they're relentless, and that's what keeps them in games. Like they're just. I mean, oh my goodness, they're just relentless. Like I can't even just like they just come at you in waves. They're gonna keep coming. Then they got some people who can just make shots, right? I mean, Marina, Kalia, Courtney, they just make shots. So it's just like with that relentlessness, the defense and the shot making ability, they in any game. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree, and, like,
Yeah.
you just mentioned Marina, she just played her first game against her old team, the Dallas Wings, they did beat them. She went off, she had her game, I think she was, like,
Hmm.
super ready for it. We saw her taking, like, shots that maybe she, like, normally wouldn't take so quickly,
Yes.
with, like she was just ready to, like, get on those matchups,
Yes.
which I thought was amazing, but I
Yes.
also really like that you mentioned the defense for the Chicago Sky because that's something that they've really been focusing on this season so far. I know, like, a lot of teams like to say, "We're focusing on the defense," but, like, they're actually doing it, and I
They are.
think, like, Elizabeth Williams to me has been another player that has been great to watch, but, like, I don't know if you have any, like, specific Sky players that have, like, stood out to you, this season so far and, like, maybe players that the Sky should be focusing on.
Absolutely. Dana Evans. Dana Evans makes it go. When Dana's not on the court, you can tell a difference. It doesn't matter if it's Dana and Kalia and Courtney, Dana and Maria and Kalia. It doesn't matter who, but Dana, when Dana's on the court, everything just flows. Like it's just so smooth. It looks good. Like, and she knows she facilitates well. She gets the girlies in their spots and she defends. And just with her, everything is just like heightened. Like she is a catalyst for me. Period. Is Dana
Mhm.
Evans for me. And I know
Yeah. No, go ahead, go ahead.
and I know like their front court isn't as quote unquote dominant as other ones, but they're workers. Sika yesterday, are you kidding me? Like she was going off, and Elizabeth, she does her thing. So those three, but Dana, she's a catalyst for me. Like she makes it tick, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, the Chicago Sky did come up here to Toronto a couple weeks ago for the Canada game, and I feel like I got more attached to that team, like, just being able
Mhm.
to be around them and just seeing, like, Dana work in practice. It's very obvious to me that they're focusing a lot of drills for her, and they're
Mhm.
focusing on her being part of this team, and so I'm super excited to see I totally agree with you about, like, her impact on this team. I even said, I was like, "This is gonna be the year of Dana Evans," and I'm very excited for her as the Sky continue to get wins that they should be getting so
Yeah.
far. I mean, even if you look at, like, the team itself, there are a lot of very good players. Like, I know a lot of people had Chicago not very high coming into the
Mhm.
season, but they've got a very talented roster, at least, like, in my opinion. I'm sure you agree with me.
Yeah, I think my woes were them was just of course front court because the front courts in the
Mhm.
W are like amazing. But with their how hard they work and their backcourt, they could be in some games.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So they are 3-1 to start the season. Another team that has been pretty dominant, the Las Vegas Aces, who are now 4-0 to start the season. It's pretty
yeah,
much gone the way you would have expected it to.
yeah,
They're kind
yeah.
of they seem like an unfair team to play against. But I want to talk about Jackie Young specifically because
Man,
she's been the leading scorer for them. And like not only is she scoring, but she's like making plays. She's super active on the defensive side. What is it about her that has been able to help her like thrive in this Aces system?
man, you could just tell Jackie works. Like you can tell Jackie has been in the gym. Like you can her confidence has just gone. You could just tell the girlie has been in the gym. Like that's what it
Mhm.
is the confidence, the shots that maybe she would pass up last season. She like, oh nah, like you not guarding me? bloop. Like she, like Jackie is just like, I'm here. You're gonna have to guard me, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And you could just really tell that she really works at it. You can tell that she really, really wants it, and I love that for her. Like man, Jackie Young MVP. Put her in the race.
MVP. I love it. Well, I was gonna ask you because like she won most improved player last year. So I was gonna ask you, like, do you see her leveling up this year?
Yeah, like the way that she is leading the Aces, cool. And I love that even though they have so many superstars, the other girls on the team, like, girl, go ahead, girl, do your big one. Like, we don't care. We all in this together. Like, so put her in the race. MIP to MVP, put her in the race.
Yeah, I love that. And like even yeah, even with the aces, and we're starting it now. We're starting on this show. Jackie Young MVP. We're starting it now. You heard it here first from Lo. But what I do like about the aces, like even in I don't know what kind of era we could call it. Like maybe it's like the Becky era, the Asia era, but like it feels like even if some of the key players aren't having good nights or like maybe they're not getting enough points, like you feels like you could have anybody on this team go off. And I feel like that's what we've seen so far. Like that kind of balanced scoring to me is like super important, especially when there's a lot of emphasis this year on like super teams and
Mm-hmm.
being very like heavy on like a few of the people on the team.
Yeah,
Where to me, I feel like if you have a more balanced roster, that to me is the super team. You know what I mean?
exactly. And that's how you get them. Because now I can say, I mean, I can plan for Asia, but then Candace might go off. I can plan for Kelsey, but then Chelsea gonna eat me up. So it's just like, what do I do? And I also the addition of Kayla George, Alicia Clark has been hooping,
Yes.
and Kristen Bell coming into her own now. She Bell coming into her own. So it's just man, it's just so many. like, like,
I know it's unfair. It's unfair, but I love it.
yes.
But let's move on now to the Indiana Fever, who
Mhm.
got their first win of the season this weekend, which
Yes.
was it was so great to see, like, just seeing, like, Aliyah, like, hugging everybody after the
Yes.
game, and they were so happy, and, like, I feel like my heart was, like, ah, bursting for them. But I know you're a South Carolina Gamecocks fan, so I did wanna ask you, like, how special has it been to see Aliyah kind of grow from, like, being in college to being the number 1 draft pick, and now just seeing her lead, like, a fresh perspective on this, like, new Indiana Fever era?
It's so dope for me. Like, it's like I knew she was good. I knew she was that girl. But just to see her flourishing in the pros, it's just like, I knew it, girl. Go spread your wings. Like, and that's why I know some people wanted her to come back to South Carolina. And I was like, nah, like go do your thing. Like you're ready. You are
Mhm.
prepared. And she has just been killing it. Did you see the little boy with the little other little girl and the little kid with the braid, little red braid ponytail? Oh, it's the cutest thing. If you haven't, I'll send it to you. Um,
Okay.
it was just I'm just so happy for her and she looks happy. She deserves it. She deserves it.
Absolutely. I also like this is totally random, but I love her hair. Like that to me is like, oh, she had like the purple, now it's the red. Like I
Mhm.
can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, always on
Uh-huh.
fire braids.
Yeah. And so for the Indiana Fever in general, like regardless of how many wins they get this season, because I know there's a lot of talk about like can they win more than they won last year, which I think it was like
4,
games or
5, yeah, something
or
like
something like that. Like regardless of how many wins they get this season, like what do you think they should be focusing on moving forward?
entry passing. Gotta be at the top of the list. Just entry passing, man, and just maybe the vets got to start betting. I feel like Liz and Aliyah have been holding it down. I like what Lexi Holt brings, but you know the other guards we need a little more. We need a little consistency, and I think that'll help. And if they get that, I do think they definitely can win more than 4 games.
Yeah, I actually like I don't know how bold a prediction this was, but like I went on a couple of like season preview shows and I was like, "Oh, the Fever can make the playoffs this year." So I was like, "We'll see what happens." I think I was a little bit like
I
excited with the new
Yeah,
era. I feel like it's very like with the bottom 4 teams, I feel like it could be very close. Like I feel like it's just a matter of like circumstances, you know?
yeah, and getting hot at the right time, maybe. Like I agree for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I had them at like 6th or something. So like we'll see what happens.
Maybe,
I got I got very excited with Aaliyah just like leading the way. So I
yeah.
think that was it.
Maybe they can figure it out. I did say I don't think they'll be last. That was my prediction.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I agree with that. We can
yeah.
definitely agree on that.
Okay.
Kind of the last thing. I know like you're
Mhm.
not only are you super involved in the W, but you've also been like really important in like college basketball coverage on the women's side, like telling stories. I know you recently sat down with Diamond Johnson to talk
Yeah.
about like her transfer decision. I'm wondering like what was that like for you and like what did it mean for you that she was able to share her story with you?
It was really dope. Like, I think I sat there like, wow, like I'm really about to do this just because I'm really like, I say I'm at the intersection of culture and women's sports. And I'm just really big on pushing Black women and their stories in ways that suit them and to make them look the best that it possibly can. And just the fact that she trusted me to come and sit down with me and not only tell me, her reasons for leaving her old school, going to her the new school at Norfolk State, but and the fact that it's a HBCU. She's literally that's a culture shift, When she goes and does well and achieves her goals from HBCU, that will be a culture shift. And she trusted me with that. And I just think that's like the dopest thing in the world. Like, I think that was really like, oh my God, girl, like, that's what you wanted to do. You did. That's it. Like, I loved it. It was great.
We loved it too. Like I love like we definitely need more of this. We love your coverage. And so last thing, like share where people can find you, plug any work you want people to know about.
I mean, y'all can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Big Low with 4 G's and an underscore on the low. And I post content about women's basketball. Got some things coming up. And if you want me to help you with some things, the girlies out there watching, let me know.
Yeah, you guys heard it. Well, thank you both so much for joining me today.
No problem.
All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been Hoop Talks.